A Corvette, the American take on the sports car. It sticks to a rigid principle: drive at the rear, V8 in the front, 2 seats for perfect tooth people in the middle. The C7 Stingray has been around for a while. A Z06 with 6 million horsepower and plenty of track-based bits came a while later, and now Chevrolet's brought out this, the Grand Sport. The Grand Sport doesn't get anywhere near the Z06's power. It keeps the 460 horses you get in the base car. However, it does get some of the handling trickery that makes the Z06 so fantastic on a circuit. Think of it then as a sort of road-going track crossover monster, essentially. Now, if you know your Corvettes, you'll know that the Grand Sport name is pretty important. And if you don't know your Corvettes, well, allow me to explain. Throw your mind back to the early 1960s. Zora Arkus Duntov, the man in charge of Corvettes, wanted to go to Le Mans and start winning races. He planned on making 125 lightweight, silly powerful track specials to beast the competition, but General Motors didn't like the idea of factory motorsport and told Zora where to go. Zora managed to make 5 Grand Sports though, and somehow, it's amazing how these things happen, they ended up in the hands of professional racing drivers who, and you'll never guess this bit, actually raced them. And they did quite well. They are pretty much the Corvette to have. Now, Chevrolet bought the name back in the 90s and again in 2010. Now though, it's back. It's packing a 6.2-litre V8 with 460 horsepower and 465 pound-foot. Chevy says it'll hit 60 from rest in 3.6 seconds and its speedo goes, well, very far around. It's a little quicker in a straight line than a base Corvette Stingray and away off the mental Z06, but that's not what the Grand Sport is all about. This thing is all about getting round corners. You see, it's a bit of a mishmash of the Corvette lineup. So, it gets the engine from the base Corvette, but its chassis has got Z06 all over it. It's got the bits that make it handle so damn well. So, for example, you get magnetic ride control, you get big Brembo brakes, Michelin Sport Pilot tyres. That's all as standard, but things get better if you tick a box marked Z07. The Z07 pack gets you stickier Pilot Sport Cup 2 tyres, huge carbon ceramic brakes, and, well, more fun. The bodywork on the Grand Sport is mostly derived from the Looney car, though its rear wing isn't quite as complete. And if you're super keen, you can get yourself a heritage pack that spruces up the aesthetics. So, Internet, I have a little bit of an admission to make. This is my first ever Corvette. Not played in one before at all. But from all I've heard, this is the one to go for. The Grand Sport is the one. The Z06 is a bit too manic, a bit too crazy. The base Corvette, good, but not quite as good. So let's start with the good bit. The noise. Oh my good lord, it sounds good. That's Murica flying out the back of the car. Just listen to it. Big, dirty, grumbly V8. That's fantastic. And if you get the manual, it's a 7-speed manual. It will rev match for you. So when you feel like you're ready to go, just clutch down, drop it in, and we're hot to trot again, and make lots of noise! All of the noise, fire, ash and brimstone. The gearbox itself doesn't feel quite perfect. It's good, and I'd sooner have it than the auto, but it's not. It's a little bit too notchy, a little bit too hairy-chested for my liking, but hey, if you like it, fair enough. The brakes, a little bit spongy to start, but then bang, straight down, they stop. There's decent pedal feel. They're pretty tasty as far as they go. This car's real party piece, though, is the handling. The handling is incredible, but there is one minor caveat to that, because in sport mode that we're in now, the steering is fantastic. It's beautifully weighted. You can tell what the front of the car's doing. You can feel everything. It's nice and flat. It's good. There's no body lean or anything like that. You can go around the corner and have decent confidence that you're not going to, die. But track mode makes the steering unbelievably heavy. Like, as in, has the power steering pump broken heavy? It's ridiculous. I mean, it feels kind of good, but it's too heavy. You've got to really heft it. You've got to work out and don't skip arm day ever, because it's something else. But the way this thing handles, the way it moves, the way it shimmies and shakes a little bit under braking when you go properly hard. bang it into a corner, and you know what? I was expecting to have to be very rude about this car. Expecting it to be wobbly and lurchy and leany and just generally rubbish. But actually, it's really rather good. This is more than a contender for European sports cars now. It's absolutely stunning. It just has so much front-end grip. Bang it into a corner, no hint of oversteer, just nice and neutral. Keep it pinned, keep it pinned, keep it pinned, keep it pinned. Nail it out the back of the corner. And it flies. And the whole car shakes with the engine. You feel the engine vibrating through the cabin. It's magical. This is a proper sports car. The traction control light's telling me to stop being a hooligan. But frankly, traction control light, I refuse. Yes, it's really good. It's really good. You know, there are a couple of things about it that aren't great. It smells weird. I don't know why it smells weird. I think it's because it's quite new. And some of the dials are a bit fussy and it's a bit faffy and it's a little bit busy. Some of the, is this carbon fibre? I don't know, it doesn't feel like it. And the design of the interior is good, but it really is only like minor things. This is a genuinely brilliant car. I want one of these in London. It wouldn't fit anywhere because it's vast, but for that, any day of the week. I get that the older Vettes weren't much of a match for the stuff that comes out of Germany. I get that they were of their time for a specific audience, but the Grand Sport, that's different. Put simply, the Corvette Grand Sport is an absolute stonker. It's a wonderful blend of front-end grip, power and noise, something you can work with and gain confidence with and improve with, or you can take out to a track and embarrass a fair few other things in. My first Corvette experience was a very positive one, and Chevrolet has made a cracker. How do you want to see the next Carfection film before it goes live here on YouTube? Well, if you click there, you'll go straight through to carfection.com, where you'll see me mucking around in an all-new V10 Audi R8 Spider. There's noise and rain and references to sheep. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe, which you can do by clicking here.